Hey, it's Alex J here with his ENC project. This time I did the Battle of Fort Macon, North Carolina. And these first few slides just show that they're getting a new visitor center, which has an auditorium and it's a bunch of different stuff. Then the walkway to the fort was made of stones like this, so it wouldn't crack under the heavy weight of the cannons. Yeah, so got a couple of pictures of that. Stones. And there's the entrance to the fort. Yeah, I had a lot of fun doing this. I went to the Fort Macon, had a lot of fun making this video. Then you got the flag flown over the fort, the U.S. American flag, which I don't personally understand very much due to the fact that it was a Confederate fort, and most of the war between the states sites I've been to, they have both the flags flying, not just the American flag, which that makes me very curious. I'm going to look into why that is. The commander of the fort was a man named Moses White Morris. He was the colonel that was surrendered to the fort at the time. And this is pictures of his office. Oops. What the? Yeah. These are the flags of the North and South. There's the American and Confederate flag. Right is Confederate, left is American. And this slide, you obviously have the American flag. On that side, you got the Confederate flag. Before during the war between the states, I did my project mostly on the Civil War battle because it was funner. There's an overall depiction of the fort. Yeah. Just kind of showing you how the fort would look, the gun emplacements. The scale of the fort. Then there's two mortars there. I don't understand why they have them, because there weren't any mortars at the fort at the time. That's kind of the reason the fort fell. It was because they were being bombarded from the beach and they had no idea where the cannons were. So that's why they had to surrender, because the fort would have been reduced to rubble if they hadn't. So I don't know why those mortars are there, because they were never actually in the battle. And here's a picture of the mess hall, aka kitchen, right there. The oven. This is the water well. It's where they would have gotten their water from. These are the rooms of the fort. This is what they would have slept in. Rooms like this. There's a fireplace. That's a counter firing slot. It's basically where they'd shoot out of them as the enemy was approaching from the inner outer wall of the fort, so they could basically just mow them down. This is a picture of the armory. It's where they would have kept the gunpowder and all that kind of stuff. They were located behind the staircases, so they could withstand several hits before the armory would blow up and create a really big explosion. Hot shots were what you would put cannonballs into. And the cannonballs would become really hot, and then they would put them in cannons, and they'd fire them at the wooden ships, and they would have burned down. Pretty beast looking things. Again, the counter firing slots. The courtyard. Cannonballs. The stairs. The stairs and all that. Hot shots. Mortars, which weren't really there. The cannons of the fort. These are pictures of the cannons that were at the fort. So there you got, those are actually Napoleonic cannons. Up at the very top, it's hard to see, that is a 32-inch naval cannon. Could really devastate an enemy ship. This is a painting of the surrender of the fort. And the fort was surrendered April 26, 1862. Yeah. It was only held around 13 months by the South, but they were being bombarded in the ruins, and if I had my choice, I would have surrendered. Because they would have hit that intermission rooms 1 of 3. The place would have gone up pretty fast. Big explosion. And that's basically it. The wonderful credit so I don't get sued, which would suck for me. Yep. That's 6